You try to use all fields at the plate. You're also defending all fields at Fenway, right? You're going back and forth, sometimes within games, quite often now. Within a game, you're flipping from left to right, and they couldn't be more different, right? What is that like, and what are the biggest challenges and differences between that right field, where if it gets by you, it's going to rattle around forever, and that left field, where it's going to ping pong off the wall right back at you? What's that been like for you?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. Obviously they're very unique positions, even though they're both in the corner. But I feel like I see the ball really well in the corner. Left field is just not a lot of ground to cover, so I'm just trying to play like a step or two shallower than I normally would. I haven't had too many tests off the wall yet, but I feel relatively comfortable out there, and I can trust my athleticism on my arm to be able to make a strong throw to second, and then right field, just really have to get on your horse. Obviously a lot of ground to cover. Can't underestimate the corner. A ball gets rolling in there, it can kind of bounce around a little bit. So make sure I'm fielding the ball cleanly, setting my feet, and then making a proper throw. So again, for me, it just comes down to fundamentals, slowing the game down, slowing my feet down, and just trusting my defensive ability. I don't try to think about it too much. Just understand the situation of the game and make sure I'm throwing to the right guy.
Alex will attest, when Manny Ramirez played left field for all those years, there was actually a worn out spot, maybe about a third of the way behind the shortstop, because he stood in the same spot every day. Right. And he almost looked down for it. Okay, I'm in the right place. If it gets by me, it's going to bounce back to me. Have you found that spot yet, or do you move around a lot in left field?
Yeah, it's funny. As the season goes on, you can kind of start to see the wear patterns of where outfielders play in the specific positions. So there's a couple forming out there. Obviously we have our in-game cards, so it gives us an idea of where to stand based off of a reference point. But it's just getting comfortable out there. It's just reps, more reps. But yeah, there's not too much moving around over there. I just want to make sure I'm taking away the line drive in front of me, and trying not to give up extra bases over my head as best I can.
Your defensive credentials are considerable. You're a multi-time Gold Glove winner. At the same time, like I knew that when you were coming here on opening day in Seattle, you blew my mind. Like you came in on you fielded the ball cleanly and made a throw at full speed, and then did a front somersault in the air, aerial acrobatics, and I was like, what just happened? I had not recalled seeing one that was executed with that kind of precision, flying through the air. I showed it to my kids the next day. Like they were both kind of losing their minds with like, what is that? There are a lot of names for this kind of throw. I'm not sure how much you've explored that. There's the janitor throw because of there's a YouTube thing on the idea of the janitor throw. Jaron Duran called it that, but then said, "No, we got to give it something better, like the TO special or something." I think that there was a former famous politician based out of Massachusetts named Tip O'Neill, so I think Flip O'Neill would be pretty good. But how much thought have you given to that, and how much do you love that play?
I like that Flip O'Neill, man. That sounds good. Yeah. I don't know. I just broke it out a few years ago. I've really been working on my arm strength the last few years, making sure that I'm keeping that up. So it just kind of came to fruition when I was just playing long toss and trying to stay loose, like we were talking about earlier in the show. Very tight, very wound up. So I need to work on like reeling it back and being loose, being flexible, being mobile and stuff. So I just, I'm tinkering and exploring, and I'm always trying to find ways to be better. And then I just started kind of, not really like decelerating, playing catch and playing long toss, just kind of rolling through it and throwing through it. And then I just got more comfortable and more accurate with it as I went on. I found the confidence to break it out in the game, shortly thereafter, and started being relatively accurate with it. So, it's just I'd rather just roll through it than kind of pull up hard on it, if that makes sense. I feel like I get more on the throw that way. I feel like I'm relatively accurate that way as well. So as long as I'm not all over the yard, and once in a while it's going to happen. You're going to throw balls away, and just stuff like that happens. But just trying to keep the ball down, make sure the trail runners aren't taking extra bases on me when I do it. But, I have a relatively good idea. Once I release the ball, it's like I don't even need to look where it's going. Like I know if it's going to be online or not as soon as I release that ball, and that's exactly what I practice for.
Do you remember the
It
first
blows me
person
away.
do you remember the first person you threw out with the throw?
I think it was either in 22. I think it was in 22. I threw out Colton Wong at home plate against those Cards versus Brewers. And yeah, I just base hit right at me and just came up throwing, just let it rip, and it was right on the money.
You should have done like a backflip in order to celebrate it, right? Like your, St. Louis Cardinals go full Ozzie Smith on the celebration of
The
that
Aussie
of the
Smith,
flip.
yeah, yeah. I don't know if I could do a backflip. I'm still working on the front flip. I'm working on it.
The double flip O'Neill will come later. What blows
Yeah,
me
yeah.
away though is how you stick the landing. I mean, that's the more I watch these now. Like you're almost coming into a pose. It's Marvel comics ish to be like you're sort of you get the throw off and you've got this down now where your arm's sort of on your knee and you're watching the throw go in. How much practice did that take?
It's just athleticism. I gotta say, like I said, like I'm not practicing like a full flip and roll through like when I'm playing catch. But when we're warming up and doing pregame stuff, I'm definitely making sure that I'm stretching it out. I'm getting all the way out there, and I'm just rolling through it. I'm rolling through it the right way. And anything that happens after the throw, I don't even think about. It just kind of happens. But obviously, I'm lined up the right way if I'm landing in a relatively athletic position. Sometimes it might not be as pretty. We'll see. It's not the last time I'm going to execute the throw. So we have a couple more opportunities. I still haven't got a guy yet this year, so I'm working on it still.
So you also have time to work on the backflip to celebrate it. So we'll keep we'll be
Yeah, yeah.
watching for
There you
that.
go.
It is
That's
interesting though,
funny.
right? Because like part of the reason why that's such a it's such a striking demonstration of athleticism is because like your movements are really compact within that. And I'm curious, like as obviously, like I don't think this is a secret. You spend some time in the weight room, right? Like you have kind of a very compact, powerful frame. Like how much do you try to within because of that? How important is it to find ways of making of balancing athleticism with like these compact movements to kind of allow the strength that you have to kind of pour into what you're doing on a baseball field?
Yeah, I think like I'm in a really good spot when it comes to my prep and my weight room routine and stuff. I'm working with the trainers here in Boston, and these guys are awesome, man. On a day-to-day basis, we're able to adjust and adapt and make sure that I'm feeling as good as I can every day to go out there and compete. So yeah, I'm just making sure that I'm warming up my body the right way and just getting into good position, making sure I'm doing my maintenance, my activations and stuff, and lifting where I can. So yeah, there's a lot of stabilization that core engagement, along with the lifts and the warm up and stuff that I do. So everything we're doing in there is putting me in a good spot to go out and execute and just be able to play, not having to think about my body hurting or anything like that. And obviously, 160 games, man, your body's going to hurt and it's going to change every day and things are going to feel different every day. But from a maintenance standpoint, I'm feeling spot and, I'm able to play, man. And that's a big thing for me is just I'm able to about the game and think about the situation, not think about things hurting or other things getting in my head like that. So yeah, no, I feel like there's different things that I do every day that would attribute to just general athleticism, but I'm not doing like flipping med ball throws or anything. I'm not for the throw.